Yeah, good morning, everybody. I am in the ghost town of Fairbank. Today is January 2nd, 2021. Let's check it out. Originally called Junction City, then Kendall. The town was formally founded as Fairbank on May 16th, 1883. And by the mid-1880s, it had around 100 residents and boasted a steam quartz mill, a general store, a butcher shop, a restaurant, a saloon, a Wells Fargo office, a train station, and a stagecoach station. All right, folks, this is the entrance to the ghost town of Fairbank. That's the old chicken coop we see there. The buildings behind the chicken coop and all the buildings off to the left are in pretty good shape and definitely worth exploring. All right, folks, there's the old chicken coop and a couple other historic buildings right behind it. Still in pretty good shape. And you can walk around these buildings. I think normally they are open, but because of COVID, they are temporarily closed. And finally we see the old schoolhouse, Fairbank Schoolhouse, and it's now the visitor center. All right, folks, we can see the former Fairbank Schoolhouse here, now the visitor center and gift shop. It is temporarily closed because of the COVID restrictions. And, of course, the beautiful old rustic buildings that we see. What is left of Fairbank. Not bad. Okay, folks, and just to the right of the old schoolhouse is a beautiful little picnic area. Yeah, it's hard to believe that this was once a thriving little silver town. We see the Mercantile and Post Office building right ahead of us. It was founded in May of 1883, and that's when the little town of Kendall officially changed its name to Fairbank. And here's a view from the other side of the Mercantile building and the post office. Still in very good shape. And there's even a water trough for the thirsty horses. And it looks like another beautiful morning here in southern Arizona. Second day of 2021. And it looks like I have the whole place to myself again. Hallelujah. And we can see another old historic building here. It is temporarily closed because of the pandemic. Okay, folks, just opposite the library is another abandoned house here. Still in pretty good shape. And we have another view of the historic buildings right ahead of us. All right, folks, Railroad Avenue apparently was once the main drag. Off to the left is the Mercantile building and the historic cemetery off on the right. All right, folks, the San Pedro Trail is right ahead of you. And to get to the cemetery, just follow the trail and you'll be there in about 15 minutes. Now, to get to the old mill, it'll take you about 35-40 minutes. Definitely worth it. All right, folks, I'm still along the San Pedro Trail, and The mill and the cemetery are just off on the right, and we'll be there shortly. Okay, folks, just off on your right is the path that takes you to the Fairbank Cemetery. But keep your eyes open because the sign can be sometimes difficult to spot. Okay, apparently the cemetery is located at the top of the hill, and just follow the trail all the way to the end. All right, I just arrived at the Fairbank Cemetery. Not much of one, actually. Just a few grave sites, and that's about it. Here are a few grave sites. And here's another one with a old rotting fence around it. Another grave site. And in the Old West, especially in the rural cemeteries, you can always tell a grave site by the big pile of stones and rocks. Here's a good example right ahead of us. All right, well, this is about the only grave site in the cemetery that actually has a marker on it that identifies who's here. And it looks like it says Angelita something, but there it is. All right, folks, looks like these are the only two grave sites with actual markers on them. You can see them right here. And just notice the cans here. Boy, those are old. And here's another identifiable grave site. And it says it belongs to Mary Nelson. Died February 25th, 1899. All right, I just want to give you a beautiful panoramic view here. Beautiful, sunny, but cool day here in Fairbank, Arizona. All right, folks, I'm just at the top of the hill at the cemetery, and I'm going to make my way over to the old mill. Okay, here's what the mill originally looked like. It was completed in December of 1880 and started processing ore for the Grand Central Mine in Tombstone. The building was 200 feet by 130 feet, and it was built on a hillside to utilize gravity to feed ore. The mill was about 90 feet from the upper level to the bottom level, and the Grand Central Mill had 30 stamps and was the largest and most efficient mill to be built along the San Pedro River. And this is all that is left of the Grand Central Mill here. Just the foundations. It's been completely overgrown. All right, the Grand Central Mill foundation is still pretty noticeable from the path, and surprisingly still in pretty good shape. But it has definitely been ravaged by the elements in time. And just off the path to the left, we can see an old deserted mine shaft, wide open. Wow. Okay, folks, I hope you enjoyed the tour of historic Fairbank here in southern Arizona. And I was very fortunate because I had the whole place to myself. Happy New Year to everyone, and we'll catch up in the next video.